Welcome to the Hands of Time, our 2023 review. My name is Pauly the Bull.
Big John Silva.
And, we'll just recap some things in 2023. We're going to start off right now with music. And I'll go first, start off with a little bit of honorable mentions. Wasn't too many this year. Wasn't a great year for me, music. John has more genre tastes than I do. I'm hip hop heavy, a little bit of R&B sprinkling in here, but I'm more of a hip hop head. It is what it is. He gonna probably give you some pop, some I don't know.
Everything.
Yeah, a little bit of everything all over the place. But I'm gonna just give you mine right now first. I'm gonna start with my honorable mention. It is a little R&B, so there you go. Chris Brown, 11/11. I did like it. I liked the concept when I first heard about it. He released it on November 11th, which is 11/11. He released side A at 11 a.m. and side B at 11 p.m. I was like, that's creative. And it was like the morning was like the more slower R&B songs, and then 11 p.m. is when he turned up, gave it a little more hyper. So it was like, okay, it was some thought to that, and the music was good. So for the R&B stuff, when I'm on my way to work or I'm in the office, just want some background music, something, I can put Chris on, let them songs rock out. And I believe it's 22 songs, 11 side A, 11 side B. So he really went with the concept 11/11. And ladies, when y'all see that number, y'all be making wishes or whatever that means. You know what I'm saying? So he did it for y'all. You know what I'm saying? The angel numbers or whatever it is. Whatever. So that's one of my honorable mentions. Another one I got, Conway the Machine, for those that don't know, Griselda, you know what I'm saying? Won't He Do It? I mean, Griselda, what more can I say? The boom bap, New York, even though they from Buffalo, West New York, but New York, hip hop. Also, I had Royce da 5'9", The Heaven Experience EP, good music, Royce da 5'9", he do what he do. Then I had Dave East, Fortune Favors the Bold. To me, Dave East's best project so far. Didn't crack my top 5, but it was great from him. I don't think I have any skips on there from him actually, which is shocking because I skip a lot of his music. I rock with Dave East, but I just don't know. He's not there yet. He hasn't gotten over that. Still trying to, make it kind of sound. So I don't know what it is, but something's just missing. But this was the closest so far. So shout out to you, Dave. And then I have Nick Grant, Sunday Dinner. I think same as Dave. I feel like he's right there. Lyrically, Nick Grant is ridiculous. I just think something is missing still in the music that he makes. He's put together a lot of projects, and each one of them is different. So I don't know if he's still trying to figure out his sound or what. I don't know. But that's my honorable mentions. And I'm gonna go right into my top 5. Start with number 5. Killer Michael. Again, no skips, solid album. Mike's first solo album in a long time. He done, mostly Run the Jewels with LP. Shout out to LP. But this was him, his story, hence the name Michael. He gave you a lot of, history of himself, things he went through, his journey in life. And, we've talked about that before. We like those introspective albums more so like, Royce, Book of Ryan, Joe Budden type stuff, music where we can learn about the person, you know what I'm saying? So I love those autobiographical type albums and stuff. So this was, Michael was one of them. I thought it was great music, deep, personal, and, and a good music, entertaining as well. That's most important. My next number 4 was Russ Santiago. Again, deep, personal, and Russ sings and raps. But this was his deepest, most personal album. Again, got a lot of a background on things he dealt with, mental, feeling lesser than, and things that a lot of us can relate to. You know what I'm saying, on different times, different points in life and stuff, and and it was relatable, entertaining, good music, no problems there, no skips there as well. So great album. I suggest everyone listen to both of those that I mentioned. Very deep, very personal albums, and good music. Now my top 3, I got Nas, Magic 3. Magic 2 should have also been my honorable mention. 3 came out on his birthday when he turned 50. Ironically during hip hop's 50th anniversary as well, year. So Nas is as old as hip hop. That's interesting. That's you know what I'm saying? Makes but sense. Shout
to the GOAT.
Right, and he still showed that he got it. It just beat out Russ and Killer Mike just because Nas is a beast. You know what I'm saying? Hit Boy producing them two together, their last. This was the completion of the two trilogies they made together. Jordan numbers 2, 3. They did 2, 3 peats. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? What can I say? But it was good music. You know, and to me, out of the 6, to me, Magic 3 might be the best. I got to run through them all again to really see. But yeah, I love that. You know, King's Disease, by the way, is the other trilogy. For those who are wondering, King's Disease did 1, 2, and 3. Magic did 1, 2, and 3. That's the 2 trilogies. You know, do the math on that. But yeah, Nas at 50 years old, still got it. Number 2 on my list, Reason, Porches. Again, you see a theme here: personal, introspective, autobiographical, and Reason is he's next. You know what I'm saying? For lack of a better way to define it. You know, I love Kendrick, I love Cole. That was like that generation. To me, Reason is that dude that everyone should be talking more about. I don't see a lot of people talking about him, but listen to the album Porches and the concept of him sitting on his porch or standing on his porch, watching his neighborhood and seeing, you know, all the stuff in the street. So he can give you that criminal life, drug dealer life, murder life, this life, and he's not saying he did it. He's saying he saw it, he lived it, he's been, and give you his connection to it. And the album itself is a concept album, very, very well put together. It gives you like timestamps. It gives you like it literally gives you like a diary, and I love it. And I find myself going back to it over and over and over again. So, Porches number 2, but number 1, and everything that he dropped last year, 2023, would be in the honorable mention, or it could just all go together because Ransom. Director's Cut 4 is my number 1, as well as he did, you know, he had the deleted scenes, he called it, from the director's cuts, and then he had another mixtape, and it just all flows together for me. But Director's Cut is the one, if I had to pick, that I always go back to. No skips, and it's kind of short, so I would run it right back again to listen to it again. Love that album and the run that Ransom has been on recently. He's just rapping like he got something to prove, and he got kids to feed, and you know, I don't know his pockets, but he rapping like he broke. You know what I'm saying? But he's been in the game for a minute, and that was my number 1, and those are my tops. So that's, like I said, very hip hop heavy, but as you can tell, also very similar, introspective, autobiographical. That's what I like to hear. Sprinkle in some other stuff here and there, but that's always my go-to. John, what you got?
So I find it a little interesting. Me and you have common takes on a lot of things. We have one similar album in our top 5. So
Okay.
That's dope. So I was a little, I don't want to say sad this year, but for music, there wasn't much that spoke to me that I was waiting for, but there's not really no disappointments because I wasn't anticipating nothing either. Like there was no rumors of a Kendrick or no rumors of a Pusha T, so there was nothing like that coming out. But my problem is that, you know, I'm in jail all day, so I don't get, like, unless
he works there. He not in jail.
So like, unless an inmate puts me onto something, and like, but even them, the music they get is delayed, so their stuff is a little old, 6 months, 7 months old. So even they don't get the newest stuff sometimes. I got no one really put me on, so I want to say I'm disappointed in Paul because I'm a huge Royce fan, and I didn't know there was a new Royce. And Paul could have been like, "Yo, John, you heard that new Royce?" Because he did it when Joe Ortiz dropped, so he could have did it for Royce. I think it's a Spanish thing that's racist, but I didn't know there was new Royce. But yeah, so there was nothing I was really looking forward to. I gotta go over some of his that he put on there and listen to a few of them. But there was nothing disappointment wise. But as far as my top 5 go, well, let me talk my honorable mentions. I only got 2. So my nephew actually put me on to this kid, Domo Kennedy.
I've heard the name.
Real New York rap.
Okay.
The album was pretty dope. It's Domo Kennedy, No Idols. Good little mixtape, kick a rap. It just gives you that real good 90s feel. I love it. I thought it was good. My nephew put me on, and I was like, you know what? I was worried because my nephew is obviously, my nephew's 14, so I was like, I'm expecting some like, Young Thug, Little Yachty kind of thing. So when I heard the type of music, I was like, all right, I'm teaching you well. All right, perfect. And then another female who I actually never heard of before, but I recommended a lot to me, was this girl named No Name.
Okay.
And she could rap her ass off. Her album's called Sundial. She could rap her ass off. And actually, I always try to see where my taste goes with other people's taste. So I look at like other top lists of rap and all that, and she's actually on a lot of people's top 3 of the year for her album.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, I like the album. I thought it was dope. She's definitely could rap her ass off. She reminded me a lot of like a female Lupe Fiasco on her kick rhyme conscious knowledge shit. Like it was definitely a good album though. So those are my 2 honorable mentions. For my top 5, kind of in order. I got 5. I got Sleep Token. It's more like it's a new metal brand. It's called Take Me Back to Eden. I thought the album was dope. Production is dope. The way it goes raw. It's a little bit of mix of singing with some screamo. You know, mix of that kind of stuff. But that was my number 5. Number 3, I got this girl Ray. Her album is dope. She talks about everything from like love, loss, being hurt, to talking about people in the industry trying to take advantage of her, sexually being assaulted, body dysmorphia. So she's definitely speaking overall to females, but you could still hear and understand her message from listening to it. And it's definitely a dope album. She did have a song with your homegirl 070 Shake on there, which to me is not, I don't want to say it's a toxic song, but it's definitely not the best message. No. Because the song is dope.
When you said Shake was on it, I knew it was toxic.
The song is dope, the beat is dope. Yeah. But basically, give you a short synopsis. Her man that she loves to death told her, yo, it's over. And she's like, oh, it's over? I'm going to fuck other niggas. like she didn't try to win him back. It's the love of her life. She didn't try to get him back. She didn't try to wait to hurt. Nah. She was like, nah, tomorrow, I'm fucking another nigga.
Moving on.
Guaranteed. It's going to happen. But it's still a dope song, dope album. The album itself is just dope from start to finish. I got one skip on the whole album, actually. And I think it's like 16, 17 songs. I got one skip, which is rare for me with female R&B. I'm a little more quick to hit the skip button on certain songs. So that's my number 4. My number 3 is Jelly Roll. I don't know if you're familiar with Jelly Roll.
I am.
Nice little. He's considered country, but I consider him he's like urban country in my opinion. Yeah. But dope album start to finish. I love same one. I think I got one skip on the entire album. And that's just because it plays on the radio too much, so I just got tired of hearing it. Yeah. But it's still a good song. But the album is good. The concept is good. The subject matter what he talks about is awesome. It's a really good album. And if you want to try to even get into country type of music, I think this is a good start because it is urban country, something you could all relate to as far as drug overdose and problems with the women and just growing up with your own issues, being angry and hating yourself. Like it's a really good album. For number 2, I got Ransom Director's Cut 4. Ransom, as he said, has been on the tear. I mean, I don't know what to say. He's just putting out project after project, and usually I'm against flooding the market with your project, right? Because I'm gonna get tired of your shit, right? And so far, no. and everything, even though his flow for the most part stays the same, lyrically he's not using the same rhyme skill. It's not the same words. It's not I'm gonna just rhyme this a different way or say this punchline a different way. Or it's different all the way. Different delivery, different style. Like it's, that album. That album definitely the best hip hop album for me of the year. But my number 2 overall. And number 1, I told him earlier, it might be a little cheating. I don't care. The Grammys don't start. They cut off the album for I think October or November, something like that. This album dropped the 2nd week of December. SZA, SOS. Okay. Album is phenomenal. I love that album. No skips for me. Full playthrough. Favorite songs though, definitely Kill Bill and Snooze, which is crazy because there's such opposites. Right. Yeah. There's such opposites. Yeah. But the album itself is so good. She Deserves Her Flowers. That's to me my album of the year because I've been playing it since the 2nd week of December last year, and it's still getting heavy rotation now. Right. So I felt like it deserved it. Right. Those are my top 5. Okay. Obviously, let us know what you guys think, and please, since he don't want to let me know about new music, put me on. Let me know. Send me a message. Like put me on to music because I love all kinds of genres. I'm willing to listen to anything, and I'll give anything. I got Apple Music, so I just literally put it down and let it start to finish play on my drive to work, or when I need download time because sometimes work's crazy. I need to get my mind off things. Of course, yeah. I take a long drive after work, so some download time. So. Is there anything that was announced in 2023 that you're looking forward to? There's none that I've heard of. 2024. Yeah, 2024. There's none that I've heard of. Yeah. I talking to you about this earlier. Like I'm waiting for this J. Cole. Gil Edward, / Alter Ego album, but I'm starting to believe that this is the new Detox, and it's just never gonna happen. If you don't know what Detox is, you're too young for us. Now, Benny the Butcher just dropped, as we're recording this, it just dropped this week. Have you heard it yet? I have not. Okay, so I'm putting him on, as you see. You see? I'm putting him on to it now. There we go, I take it. Since you remind me of Benny the Butcher, I was thinking about when you were talking about Conway, Disappointment. I do have Disappointment. West Side Gun album was terrible. It is the worst album he's put out yet. It was such a terrible album. I tried. He's even off beat on some of them, which his voice is annoying, but at least he's on beat usually. He was on off beat a few times. Terrible album. West Side Gun, you need to do better. Griselda, what are you doing? What are you doing?
It just, to me, it was in the middle. I wouldn't say it was at my worst. It wasn't at my best. It was somewhere in between.
But you recommended the Benny?
Yes.
The reason why I say that is because Benny's, like I was saying with Ransom, Benny's one of the ones who, in my opinion, he flooded the market. And I actually got a little tired of him. Even though I loved Benny. I was all about Benny the Butcher.
Nah.
But I got a little tired
We've been waiting for it. So, you know, he released Big Dog with Lil Wayne. He released One Foot in the Game with Stove God. And he released another song. He had like 3 singles. I was like, when the album coming, when that, and then finally dropped, worth it. Definitely worth it. So
nice.
Got that so far.
I was actually, my fault. I was actually mad because one of my favorite artists, I don't know what genre he'd consider, but Louis Capaldi. Anyway, he's a good artist. He's on, you know, he's on his love and heartbreak shit.
Oh, okay.
But it's not R&B. It's more like new neo soul.
Oh.
But he dropped his album January 1st, so I couldn't count it because it was dropped. If he dropped it 31st, I would have been like, oh.
But if it's worth it, we'll be talking about it. You know, next episode, next time. Lil Dicky, for those that know, he got a show. My name, I'm Dave, and he released like a soundtrack to the show, which is basically like some of the songs he made in the show, and it's still they still hard. They hit.
He could rap.
He could rap. It's just weird but it works. But that also came out in 2024, so we might be talking about it next time. We don't know.
I like, but his punchlines, his funny punchlines work. Like the way Eminem tries to do like the quick funny punchline that it doesn't deliver right.
Right.
Lil Dicky has a way of knocking out where it's like it's a cheesy punchline, but it's working. Right. Like, you know what? That's actually dope.
And his storytelling, like he can, put together a story. That's like, if I had to say anything was bad about the soundtrack to the show or whatever, it's like there's no hooks. It's like he just raps. And, that's not always a bad thing, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, if I had to knock one thing, that's the one it is. It's like storytelling. And like I said, it's like, I guess it's songs he made for the show, which is loosely based on his life, but it goes obviously in a different direction. So you kind of got to watch the show to know what the song's even really talking about. So it's like, that's why I said it's like a soundtrack to the show. I think that's what they're considering it to be. But I watch the show. I love the show. I think it's 2-3 seasons in. If you haven't watched it yet, check it out. But the soundtrack album, whatever you want to call it, I bump it. I actually do bump it. It's weird, but I bump it. So that's where we at so far in 2024. But we've been talking about 2023. Like he said, if we miss some songs or some albums that came out that is in your top 5 or that we should check out, I take his list into consideration. He takes mine. That's what we do, and we love to take yours as well. Let us know.
Any genre, like I listen to it.
And I do listen to other genres, but they just don't make my top. It's just how it is. But I do listen to other stuff. It just, I always go back to my hip hop. That's what I am. A hip hop head. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Comment. Let us know what you think, and we'll be back. With the next thing. All right.